Hi everyone, the Tata Steel Rapid Chess event got underway in India today and there were lots of superstar players in action, so it was fantastic to see, especially looking at some of the global superstars playing against really strong and young Indian Grandmasters. So Aronian actually has the lead after day one. He played some great stuff today, and if you can check out the coverage that Chess India are doing, then I'd highly recommend that. It was a really great show that I dipped in and out of throughout the day. So Aronian has the lead, but there were lots of other strong performances, especially from the young guys like Prag and so on. Vidit played some great games. And in this video I wanted to look at one of the games played by the young Indian Grandmaster Erigaisi Arjun. He's only 18 years old, became a Grandmaster at the age of 14, but he played some awesome stuff today. And this is a game that he played against Karthikeyan, and apologies if my pronunciation is wrong. And it's only a miniature one that I wanted to show, but it's an awesome crush that shows some great principles when it comes to playing chess and thinking positionally. So Arjun kicks off with d4. In response we have knight f6, we have bishop to g5, the Trompowsky, pawn to d5 now, knight to d2, c5 from black striking at the centre, dc, pawn to e6, and now we have pawn to e4, taking advantage of this pinned knight here against the queen. So knight to c6 from black, we have knight g to f3 here, and now black takes in the centre, and we have bishop takes on f6, an intermezzo move, before then recapturing the pawn. So queen takes on f6, now we have knight takes on e4, and here the game gets really wild, which is always great to see. So queen takes on b2, we have rook to b1, and the queen now snaps another pawn on a2. So black's done a lot of pawn grabbing here. If black can consolidate, then they're going to be better in the long term, but this is rapid chess and it's always a dangerous strategy, grabbing so many pawns in the opening and getting behind in development. So that's something to remember when you look at games like this. We now have bishop to b5 from white, again developing with tempo, queen to a5 check, pawn to c3, bishop takes c5, and now castles from white. So when we analyse the position here, we can see that white has 1, 2, 3 minor pieces developed compared to black's 2. The king is castled, the queen is on an open file, the rook is on a half open file. So white has a very dominant initiative here. It just depends whether black can repel the attack and then use these queenside pawns later in the game. So we have bishop to e7 from black. That was being attacked by the knight on c5, of course. Now knight to d6 check, and we have king to f8. So black now loses the castling rights. Now coming back here, if that knight had been captured by the bishop, the problem now is the queen comes into a commanding square, and if we look at where it's firing now, the king can't castle anyway, and there's a rook coming to the d file. Black's in all sorts of trouble. So that didn't happen. We had king to f8. Now we have pawn to c4, queen to c7, pawn to c5, and look at this pawn now, clamping down on the d6 square, gaining lots of space for white. And this is where, although black's been doing okay to tread carefully, they now misstep. So black plays knight to d8. A better move here would have been to play, say, bishop to f6, just making some room, perhaps to then bring the other bishop to d7, connect the rook along to the king as much as possible, but it's a tricky position, it's very tough to play now. So instead of bishop f6, black goes knight to d8, and this sets up some lovely ideas using these minor pieces here in combination with each other. So white goes queen to d4, centralizing the queen, very powerful thing to do. Black now plays pawn to b6, and here white unveils a deadly move. If you want to pause and see if you can find it, then please do so. White plays knight to e8, a lovely double fork against queen and g7 pawn, so that if the queen moves away, let's say to b7, then white jumps in and delivers checkmate. So a really nice finishing combination there, and that's why even if in this position black plays bishop to f6 instead of going b6, white can still play knight to e8, because after the bishop takes the queen, now we take this queen on c7, and you've got two pieces hanging here for white, so for black, sorry. So there's a big problem. So a really nice crush, and I'll just come to that final position here where black resigned. Lovely game there from Arjun, really understanding the power of the initiative, especially in rapid chess, chucking his pawns away, developing his pieces, beautiful initiative, and a very picturesque position to finish. You don't often see a knight on e8 like this, forking queen and g7 pawn. So yeah, really nice to see that game. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow's play. I'll look to get another video out like this. I hope you enjoyed this one. Do hit that subscribe button to never miss a video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again on the next one.